do want to say I'm so happy that we have more people joining us on this journey, and I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. I'm so glad that we have this community here. I hope that you get something out of it. I just love reading your comments and responding to you all. You all have some great thoughts and ideas. So if you're new, welcome. So we're going to be answering the question, why do I act differently around others versus other others? This particular question came to my mind because a lot of times I'll hear somebody that I interact with, maybe it is a coworker, a friend that was, someone that I've developed a relationship with, and they'll say to me something along the lines of, you are acting differently now than when I first met you. I know that it is a positive thing because they're not saying that to me with like a scowl on their face or anything like that. They're saying it with a smile. They're, saying it in a positive way, which was something that I kind of just brushed off and was like, well, you're just getting to know me more. I don't know. So I thought I would investigate it a little bit more, both what I have to think about it and then also what others have to say about it. When I started brainstorming why I was acting differently at different times, the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm just trying to be flexible. I want to be flexible for others, and so I'm trying to be open to the situation. And then I got to thinking, am I really being flexible if I'm projecting this same person who is not really me over and over again? And I would say that the answer is no, I'm not really being flexible. I'm just being different. And why am I being different? What is this different? So that led me to admit to myself that I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be offensive to anyone. And so the best way I can do that is by being a very moderate version of myself, a very suppressed version of myself, and then they will accept me because I have done nothing to offend them. I will be the person who is quiet and sit there. I don't want to rock the boat and I don't have the power anymore. Everyone else has the power to say, I belong, you're okay to be here. That is a very strong driving force in my life. I mean, you've heard me say it multiple times that this kind of issue is something that I am dealing with. And I'm dealing with it so much that I'm censoring myself. I am closing off parts of me because maybe I want to jump into my office, but then I'm afraid somebody is not going to like that kind of rambunctious attitude, and so I'm not going to maybe do it in the way that I would normally do it on that particular day. I want to have the ability to be rambunctious when I want to be quiet when I want to be, when I and all these things, but I end up, I think most people are okay with quiet, and so I pick that route instead of, all these other options that I could do, and then I don't. So what I end up thinking is that I am being what other people want. Other people want this person, but then I have to question myself now. I mean, I've lived this many years living like this, but do they really want that person? Also, this is kind of a side note. I do suffer from social anxiety. Sharing and speaking in front of a big group of people, I mean, heck, it doesn't even have to be a big group of people. It could be even a small group of people. I still get nervous. I could be sharing my thoughts. I might have to read something out loud, and I still get nervous. I get so nervous that I end up with tunnel vision. All the other things around me start disappearing, and that's not a good thing because I normally am taking in the environment to some degree, and I stop taking in the environment because I'm so focused and nervous about what I'm going to do. So I think this plays into some of this me acting a little bit different. So another aspect, which I think is a healthy aspect, is I don't necessarily know the dynamics, and so it's kind of good to be able to kind of step back and see the dynamics of the tribe, the group that you are interacting with. And for me, I see it as a way to kind of fill in a need, a gap for the group. So another thing I thought about is, when does this happen? And I would say, I think I kind of alluded to it, it usually is happening when I'm not feeling safe. If I feel the possibility of being rejected by the others because maybe they're new to me, then I'm probably going to suppress myself and act like what I think the world wants me to act like. When I do feel safe, so like, of course, with my friends and my family, I've, had some time to develop some trust that I know that they are not going to automatically reject me if I were to show myself and they say, that was crazy, but I still like you, hey. And I don't get that with everybody, so I'm kind of afraid to show, all of me, to show, and of course, we don't show necessarily all of ourselves, but there's a difference between showing 25% of yourself and showing 75% of yourself. A big difference, because, you're actually being human with the people around you. And I kind of joke that I'm a robot, but I feel like a robot because I feel like I have to act in a particular way, and that particular way is a bland robot, because who's going to say no to a robot that's just helping them in the background? No one's going to say no to that. But what if they find out that I am crazy and kooky and I say weird things all the time? What, are they going to still want me there? Or are they going to still want me around? These are the things going into my head. So I did some research in my brain and what's going on in there. Then I decided to also do some other research, because I'm sure I don't have all the perspectives out there. I want to know more about this. I want to get a bigger, complete picture of what's happening. And so in one of the articles was talking about how there's a healthy way to approach this and there's an unhealthy way. As we grow up, as we get older, we are developing ourselves. So you might act different in this group than you do in this group, than you do in that group. But all of them are versions of yourself that you're trying to kind of develop and iron out and figure out as you're growing up. Even as adults, we kind of do that. We maybe put ourselves in different situations and we're still developing the idea of ourselves. Hopefully, to some degree, everyone is doing that. So you might act differently at school than you do at home, but it's not necessarily you're suppressing and changing who you are for different reasons. And that's more what I'm talking about. Acting like someone you're not, changing and suppressing who you are, not just exploring different areas of who you are. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, the second article was talking about, and it actually gave this a name, they called it self-monitoring. And the definition of self-monitoring: the degree to which someone pays attention to how they are coming across and adjusts their presentation or behavior. They gave me a list of 7 ways that you could be doing this, and not all 7 of them are bad. It is part of human nature. In fact, it is healthy to do that in order to function in society. It depends on why you're changing your behavior. Are you changing your behavior to be for something, a positive reason, to be a positive influence, or are you changing it for negative reasons? Are you changing it because you're trying to avoid something? Number 1, being considerate of other people's feelings, being a people pleaser to get others to like them, or selling out core values to fit in, conforming to a setting to get to something more important, pretending to be something you're not, adjusting how you act to manipulate someone, mindlessly molding yourself because you don't have a good sense of who you are. So it just really depends on why. And when I read that list, I see things that are like pointing fingers at myself. I immediately said, oh yes, people pleaser, that's me. Mindlessly molding myself because I don't really know who I am. I'm trying to be who others want me to be. Okay, yes, I get that. And then as I'm reading this list again to you guys, I also recognize, and it's really hard to say, but yes, I'm also trying to manipulate people, not, for some excellent devious ways. I'm trying to manipulate the situation for an outcome that I am looking for, and that outcome is to be accepted. and not rejected. Ugh, when I think about that as something that I'm doing, I'm being manipulative. That's hard to face, because that's all the things I don't want to be. I don't want to be this negative person, this bad person, this person that is underlying. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I don't want to be that person. We have finally come to the section of the video where we ask, so what? Why are we thinking about these things? What is it going to do? What do we need to do? Is there something that we can do about it? And the very first thing that I was thinking about was, well, I mean, a lot of times I have been saying to myself, well, I just need to accept the negativity. And so I thought, am I supposed to just accept this is who I am? And immediately I said, no, I'm not supposed to accept this as who I am. I have been accepting this as who I am for my entire life. And what I need to accept is that I am doing the wrong thing and I need to do something different. Now, what is that different that I need to be? And this is another hard one to say, because I feel like I am, but I'm obviously not. And that is vulnerable. I would think I'm being vulnerable. I feel like I'm putting myself out there. But when I really look hard at what I'm doing and what I'm saying and how I'm acting, I am not being vulnerable. Brené Brown is a great resource when it comes to vulnerability and putting yourself out there and being an authentic self. So I purchased this a long time ago because somebody said it would be a good book to read, but I'm one of those like all or nothing kind of people, and this is probably for another story, but in any case, I need to read bits and pieces of it. Even if I can't get through it all, it's going to give me something no matter what, even if I read just a chapter of it. And I found something that was perfect for what we're talking about. It was the chapter Cultivating Authenticity, and with the subtitle of Letting Go of What People Think. Bing, bing, bing. That's exactly what I need. Some of the highlights that really stuck out to me was that she said that authenticity is a practice that you can improve on. I've always kind of seen authenticity as something as you either have it or you don't, but that's wrong. That's a wrong way of thinking about it. And so by telling me that it's a practice, that I can get better at it. And another thing that she pointed out was that it's a collection of choices. So at every moment, I have the option to be authentic or not. It isn't just like a big umbrella saying, Jenny is authentic and I live it all day, every day. It would be, okay, right now I choose to be authentic. And because it's made up of a bunch of choices, yes, I'm gonna fail sometimes, but it's not an all or nothing. Going towards being more authentic each and every day. And one thing that she said specifically was that authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embrace who we are. I need to hear that every single day. I need to put this on a post-it, put it on my forehead, look at it in the mirror every single day. I need to hear that because this is something I battle every single day. And especially when it comes to places where I don't feel safe. I feel like I have to be what the situation, what the people, everybody, what they want me to be, because what if they don't like me? And that brings me to the second part she was talking about, and she called them gremlins. So these what if gremlins, those kinds of things can just really eat away at you, at yourself, and can lead to other things like depression and anxiety. And I'm feeling that. I totally get that. I get so worried and worked up about some of this stuff. I need to let that go. I need to break through that container. I need to punch through, and that's really what it's going to be. It's going to be, I'm going to punch through here and punch through there, and eventually I will break through totally. But because it's a practice, it's going to take time. It's going to be difficult. And being somebody who wants to avoid all that pain putting yourself into this pain, this is going to be some of the most difficult things that we're going to do in life, because this is something we've been avoiding. But it's a choice. We have to make that choice. And I would say that a better life starts when we make those small but tough choices. Every day, every moment, we have that opportunity. And we're either going to go for it or we're not. And the times that we go for it, we're going to possibly put ourselves in pain. And the times that we don't, maybe we're going to be safe, but we might regret it. So that is all that we have for today. I hope that you join me next time. Let's see, 50. So it is the chapter, oh boy, that brought up some dust. Okay,